there is actually a very popular diet at the moment called the fast diet. I don't know if you're familiar with the 5-2 diet. And the author of this diet has published into a medical journal about that topic of intermittent fasting. Would this present a potential conflict if there's a publisher's contract and it's a bestseller?
Sure. I think that certainly if the book's out, that if a researcher is publishing work that adds credibility to their commercial book by getting people interested in that area, that there could be a conflict of interest, and simultaneously the other way around, that if it's the case that I'm publishing, I'm sort of using my public work to lend support to my academic work, then that would be a potential conflict of interest. I think that clearly we expect, for example, when someone has received private funding, so whether it be a pharmaceutical company or someone who's trying to sell the equipment that I'm using in my research, that if it's the case that I've been getting that kind of funding, then we'd expect in my academic research that I would declare an interest, and if I was the case I was an owner of a patent for something, that we would normally expect that be clear. So I think that there can be cases of those sorts, and certainly in the health area, I mean, it's not even just the restrictions on medicine, because of course some of the health issues don't get regulated at all, and so there's a concern sometimes that people are lending scientific credibility to areas that are much more at the level of marketing or at the level of building a consumer base, rather than what we'd ordinarily think of as in some sense tested research practice.
Yes, and I'm wondering if in the area of something like diets and health advice, do you think it adds credibility to a proposed diet or system if there is medical research there that lends support to that?
Sure, I think that, one of the reasons why people are often skeptical about some of the publishing practices within pharmaceutical companies is that idea that there might be ghost publishers, that in fact some of the names on a publication may not be real. They're lending their academic credibility to something which has been written in-house by a commercial interest on the grounds that there's an assumption if, there's in its marketing, the pharmaceutical company can say that there are X number of journal articles in the New England Journal of Medicine or whatever it may be, that adds credibility to the work. Similarly, it seems to me that if someone's I'm trying to choose between diets, and I can see that they're what looks like credible medical expertise saying that this approach is one that's going to be successful and it's safe and whatever, then it's likely that consumers will be influenced by that. It is a conflict of interest, yeah.
Yeah, I might say in the example that I'm thinking of, the actual diet popular book has not been cited in the journal article. Do you think that's a relevant factor? Does that come into it all, whether the actual popular work is being cited or not?
Well, if it's not being used as a source, then it doesn't need to be cited. It may well be the case that a person who is making a killing off of diet books or whatever, that they ought to at least express an interest, but they don't necessarily need to refer directly to the work. You might think it goes both ways. If I refer to my popular work in my academic work, that might be trying to say that, here's further evidence of the fact that this is successful and people, will follow this particular dieting advice because people are buying it. Or you might think that by not declaring it, I'm actually protecting people against getting the false sense that having seen, some kind of medical evidence in a legitimate academic publisher, that I'm also flogging the book. So it could go both ways.
All right. Well, look, I promised you I wouldn't take much time, and that certainly meets my needs. So thanks very much for sparing the 10 minutes.
Yep. Okay, so that it's not been more decisive?
No.
That's helpful.
No, thank you very much. Okay,
Thank you.
Bye for now.